so take a seat real fast. Server owners and coders, content creators and streamers, showing off the community with all their features. Issues with updates, someone's mistake, new things they added, angry players it makes. Get in chat, voice your opinion, you're the community and we wanna listen. It's the Peasants Podcast, TPP, putting out the word about the DayZ community. The sands of Nasdara stretch so wide, beneath a sun that shows no pride. A war-torn land where shadows crawl, the wind whispers tales of its endless fall. No rivers flow, no wells to find, the thirst of the earth echoes in kind. The soil is cracked, the sky is dry, yet the people endure with a weary sigh. No rivers flow, no wells to find, the thirst of the earth echoes in kind. The soil is cracked, the sky is dry, yet the people endure with a weary sigh. Oh, Nasdara, land of pain, where hope feels lost in the desert's chain. Through the dust your spirit calls, rising strong as your shadow falls. Children play where bullets have flown, dreaming of peace they've never known. Mothers pray in the cool night air, for a drop of rain, for a life that's fair. The stars above see all the scars of Nasdara's fight beneath the wars, but still they shine, a distant glow, a promise of hope in the world below. Oh, Nasdara, land of pain, where hope feels lost in the desert's chain. Through the dust your spirit calls, rising strong as your shadow falls.
A little bit like Sandhawk. More oasis type areas. Oh, black screened.
Hello, hello. You can't see anything. There we go.
Do you want me to sing a bit of Whitney for you?
That's it. Just pump out some tunes while we're in the black. Welcome everybody to the podcast. Hope you're having a lovely day. A little different intro, a little rundown on what we're going to talk about today. The new map has come out. Glorious new map. Looks absolutely amazing. So we're going to do the rundown of all the information we know. We've got a whole heap of screenshots, a whole heap of little clips and videos that show some key information and what to expect on Badlands, or Nasdara as it's called. But firstly, let me introduce the legends of the podcast. Ladies first, left to right, in the red hood, not strutting the red boonie, which we're a little disappointed in. Lady Ponce, welcome.
Well,
She had to put it away after getting dunked on last game.
She laid a red booty. I am impressed.
Just plucked it out.
That's it. I am impressed. Very impressed. How dare I doubt the legendary Lady Ponce, sitting directly across from me, gun enthusiast, our man who knows what's behind the trigger, Mr. Undead. Hello, Undead. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I think I like that title though. That's a good one.
And our resident thug, dressed in his full uniform, and of course, trustworthy enough to be holding a weapon, Mr. 80KQ. How you doing, bud?
Yeah, good. I don't know how trustworthy I am.
Well,
Not looking at anyone.
Well, for you to be untrustworthy, you'd actually be able to hit something.
Oh.
All right, it's already started. We get Q and Mr. Undead into the pit at the end. But as you saw at the start, we have a lot of information and stuff about the Badlands new map. We're going to do a rundown of what we know, what we've talked, what's been said. A few things that got mentioned by some streamers, but didn't get mentioned by others. Maybe I missed the information, but a couple of points that I have not heard throughout all the information I could hear, except for one particular streamer said. So we're going to dive onto that. Firstly, we do our little run through of updated streams and servers. The zone is kicked off again. Now, I want to do a little shout out to the zone. The zone has now NPC quests. So you can actually go onto his Discord. You can say in a little chat screen, listen, where is this? Can I have a side quest? Is there any jobs on the notice board? And he will actually run a scenario for you involving his AI clips and actually put a story together for you to allow you to venture further into the server, get a bit more in depth. So like an NPC in the Discord, but it's actually very, very, very well done. I was giving him a hard time on it the other day, but yeah.
Of course you were.
Of course I will. He gave me a yell out and told me to do it, so I give him a hard one, and he come back with some absolutely beautiful. There was a person who said, "Hey, do you have any quests?" And the lady's like, the AI comes back, quests. We don't have quests. This isn't Lord of the Rings. If you want a job, check the notice board. So he just goes check notice board, and it gave him the job. So it's pretty cool, little interactive situation happening in the service. It's good to see cool things like that happening. So yeah, check out the zone. You can interact heavily in the Discord with the actual server story. And yeah, big shout out to Spaz, really making some marks in the RPG world of DayZ.
Oh yeah, I tell you what, if you want to challenge against zombies, the zone is definitely where it's at.
Facts. He's got a very unique style of how he does his servers, and he's always updating, he's always changing, he's always moving through the place. But yeah. The only other server news that I've got is we just released the second update to the underground on Flipside. We just put it in a massive weed factory. This is a server that I'm creating to put basically a second map in Chernarus underground. So it's slowly in the works. I went up last night. It's taken me about a month to put it together. So definitely waiting for the next 7 to go in, and then we'll be releasing that to the public. One of the biggest mods that I've ever taken a hold on. So far, 14,000 assets. So,
Jeez.
yeah, it's fucking huge. So when
May I have a sneak preview, please, Mr. Peasant?
I'm actually going to start to run it because I need the footage for it. So you will see a bit of footage coming in because editor doesn't allow you to go in pitch black, and it needs to go in a pitch black because it's a weed processing plant and a massive grow facility. I've got all the lights, I've got all the fully hydroponics, the whole lot, water systems. It's crazy. One of my proudest builds. But yeah, so get out there. The flip side, it's only a 10 slotter. It's on trial till we get it done. And then once we get it done, we're going to launch him to 50 and come out full forced. But yeah, that's all the news I have in my Discord. If you're an owner and you're in my Discord, you can always drop it in TPP news, server updates or server events. We're happy to broadcast it out in the world. Plenty of good stuff coming to Xbox over the next couple of months, which is absolutely hectic. All right, what we all came here for. Let's talk about Badlands, or Nasdara, as it's called. So they recently launched their DayZ event. The DayZ event kicked off as DayZ Unites. They got 10 streamers in to do Rust Haven, which is a survival enthusiast camp sort of thing, where they went and did activities with other survivors. I'm not sure. I'm assuming it's like TwitchCon for survivors. And they basically,
Cool.
so they basically went there for a couple of days and enjoyed that. Obviously, took over DayZ headquarters for the week. I did see Holly Rex and Amish said jump onto the dev stream and take over that for a while, so that's pretty cool. That'd be pretty sick, actually. And then, of course, they did their all combined launch. DayZ cancelled their dev stream and it just allowed the DayZ Unite guys to launch the new DLC. So each of them had a specific screenshot that they were allowed to show individually, plus little bits of information and things there. I watched the Running Man Z version, obviously because he's got quite a higher understanding of how this works and a bigger influence. He had a lot of information. But let's go over what we know. Obviously, Badlands DLC called Nasdara. It's bigger than Cherno. It's 267 square kilometers of landlock. So no water whatsoever. It will be the biggest map ever to come to DayZ. It is a completely new map. So new area, new landscape, the whole kit and caboodle. Where is our... Let's see if we can get a map up. Where's our map? Map.
It's ginormous. 200 kilometres ginormous. It's 50% larger than Chinaris.
Of land, yeah.
Yes.
That is absolutely crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's in here. Get your ass down here. Had it all prepped except for the map. You goose greedy. You fucking
was
goose.
watching
Hey, the
Lobo's
biggest
video
thing
just
about
a
it that
minute
I
ago,
think
saw the
amazes
map.
me,
Hold on.
biggest thing that amazes me about it is it's built from the ground up, which is
Brand
good on
new.
them. Not just
Brand.
copying and pasting like they did with Sakau.
No.
I'll give them props on that.
Which is what you want. I don't know where I put my map. God, peasant. We could bring it in here.
Struggle of anticipation is real right now. Come on, Gracie!
That's it. Get it out. Show us your goods. You fucking goose. Here it is here. So here is
Hey!
the
God
new map.
damn!
This is Tascan. This is where it was based last time, was on this side. This is where it's going to be now, this little area that's highlighted in red. So 276 square kilometers of goodness, all land, every inch you can walk on, which means there's every inch you can explore.
Wow. So instead of like it being a couple of days running from the coast to Tizzy, it's going to be a week solid
A
now.
week solid, 100%.
Yeah.
It takes a couple of days to get to Tizzy. What?
It does when you're not the greatest at survival.
Since she's more of a PvPer. So estimated it's going to be released early 2026, but not confirmed. So it's the desert map, which is in a spring setting. So where we thought the desert was going to be the summer version, they've mentioned it as the spring version, which I thought was very, very interesting. Chernarus being a summer map, Livonia being the autumn map, and Sakau being the winter. Maybe the person...
That is...
Yeah. Didn't make sense.
That
That's
doesn't
surprising.
seem right.
That doesn't seem
I
right.
feel like
considering it's supposed to
Chernarus
be the
is...
more spring.
Yeah.
Chernarus seems more autumn, actually, with the browns. Like, there's plenty of green, but there's a lot more brown on Chernarus.
Well, I was
It
thinking...
definitely
I just
seems
hope
more
there's some
autumn than Livonia.
sandstorms.
If you go by food-wise, spring, because of all the fruit kicking out in Chernarus. Livonia doesn't have fruit. It has mushrooms only. That's autumn. And then you got winter and then summer for the two new maps. That's how I always thought it ran down.
I was
That's
coming off
what
the
made the more
atmosphere, but I
sense.
mean, if it's about the plants and stuff, I guess that does make sense.
See, even Joe says Chernarus is autumn, Livonia is summer, Sakal is winter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, we have seen that these beautiful crowns that are behind me do represent each season. So, it's a very, very... Livonia, the colour pattern is a lot brighter, suggesting it's summer. Well, that's true too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, is it's the color pattern compared to Chernarus. It's like much more brown and like almost hitting the winter months, like maybe early autumn compared to Livonia, where it's just green all over the place. Like,
Well, yeah, that's true.
just
'cause
looking
you've got,
down
like,
on
some
this
trees
is
that are
all
like
green.
Yeah, right. There is no like Chernarus where you get those autumn-looking trees.
the ginger trees.
The ginger trees.
Yeah.
So, that's so it might be in a spring setting. Who knows? So it's gonna be hot and dry. It's gonna be mountains with a desert biome, landlocked. So never been released map, all brand new built from the ground up for DayZ. When DayZ kicked off, they had 10 or less at the start of DayZ devs. They currently have 30 to 50 devs employed. We know that Nasdara is the name of the map and DLC. New assets will be at mission-based areas, plus areas that will have their own style. So there was a talk about Sakau being very semi-muddled up. In other words, you couldn't overwatch some of the towns and identify there's the medical, there's the police, there's the fire, and then beeline into them and take them out. A lot of the buildings tend to blend and merge in with each other. So they're talking about having defined POIs in the town, and then obviously the rest of the town to be able to loot, which I thought was a good little run. Now, one of the biggest things that's come to the game that's going to come to the new map is a fixable well on the map so players can rebuild to make available for other players.
I think that's cool.
Yeah, I think this is one of the better mechanics that they're coming through. So here's a picture of it here. So what they talked about is a progressional state of the well where it would start as this rubble form here, and then you would go from the rubble form, you would then build the brickwork back up, and then you would add in either logs and the roofing, obviously metal sheeting, planks and logs to be able to then activate the well. So then this well would
Is that a bucket?
Yeah, it's a bucket. That's what I said.
Oh.
In the middle of the stream, Buckethead crew, just running down Main Street naked with a bucket on my head. But it could also be improvised armor. You know, if they've interacted with a bucket like this, what stops you using a can opener to make a slit in the top to make a Ned Kelly style helmet?
True.
Yes, but this particular mechanic here, this building of the well, has led to quite a lot of theories, especially about what to expect in game, what we can expect further. They're talking about rebuilding. You know, in their opening lines, they talk about rebuild a war-torn country. Does this mean they're going to be adding in buildings that can be rebuilt into bases? You know, incorporating the ability to barricade doors, barricade windows, that sort of side. Is this what this is going to bring to it?
Yeah, the start of the decent house barricading mods, which is something that's really needed, and an easy way to fix base building without actually fixing base building.
100%. 100%. And there's already mods out there that already do that sort of thing.
Dumpgrass mod.
Yeah, Dumpgrass
Fortification mod is awesome.
A major one. It's huge. So very silent, Bob. You know we were going to build it just to throw people into it. You know what, Bob? I was thinking on that. If you could get to stage 1 and it was an open top, and then you put someone in it, and then you build stage 2. then they're trapped inside. You know, you put the roof on it and stuff
put the
like
roof
that.
on, be real, me.
Oh no!
And then they're trapped inside of it because it's been built.
Gonna be burying people alive.
Yeah.
Well, Dad, we've got to do this for science. You're
That's
going
it.
in.
I'm not going in the well. You can't make me.
Well, Timmy in the well.
Or even to the point you could set it up so you could just be in the well and just start talking to people. Help me up, Timmy O'Toole, and I'm stepped down the well. If anyone knows The Simpsons.
Yep.
That's it.
Do you know how to tie a knot? I do not know knot. You cannot. I cannot not.
I cannot not. But yeah, so the true DayZ experience, we can finally trap people in wells and make them suffer. But yeah, that's good progress towards the game. You know, buildable stuff on the map. There's a thing that the PC world called was World Wars, which is where people taking control and holding down worlds. It was a big thing in the early days of DayZ. It didn't spawn much onto Chernarus. You occasionally still see it where people will lock out worlds, but yeah, the control and over the water supply in the new map may be the biggest thing in not only the official world, but you look at it in the community side of it. If water's so scarce, a faction may be able to control an area by controlling the water. Now you're looking at a whole different dynamics of role play. You're looking at a whole different dynamics of faction wars themselves. So
Yeah, that would be cool.
yeah. Well. Honestly, I may not even buy a PC if they're adding things like this. Well, you know what, Ramekin, that's the biggest thing that they're putting out is, now we're starting to look at the major maps getting pumped out because the game mechanics are pretty much sound on
Could use a bit more polishing.
yeah, there's plenty of things to do, but I think they're now going to look at pumping the maps because it's what brings people to it. The biggest complaint has always been maps. Why do you go to PC? Oh, because of the maps, because of the mods. Very Silent Bob says there, as Reforger has now added mobs, DayZ may be next. They may be next. They may incorporate mods from the community directly into the base game. Because there is some quality of stuff out there that should be in the game. And they're opening their eyes and looking at it.
That's almost what they've been doing for the past year and a bit, is adding different mods that are in PC into the base game, slowly but surely.
Yeah, 100%. And it's good because you've got people that are being from the community that actually, know the game well enough to be able to say, hey, this is what's good enough to be added in. This is what's not on the favoritism side of, oh, all right, I like this mod, so let's chuck it in.
Well, would it work almost like a workshop system then? Kind of like how they did for Arma and what you've seen with some other games like Fallout and maybe Tabs?
No, I think
where
it'd be
a lot of the mods worked through a workshop system and
I think it'd be more the fact that
themselves could filter through.
No, I think the devs will just go through and incorporate what they want out of it. Yeah. Joe says they've already said they wanted to add mods to console. The issue is that that PlayStation really don't like developers to have that much control. Xbox isn't really an obstacle. Sony is what makes it difficult. It's actually Sony and Xbox themselves. It's security wise, but Sony and Xbox don't want to work together. It's like two siblings that don't want to talk to each other. So that's the biggest thing. I know on Reforger they've now got it in Reforger, which is BI. So maybe something for the future, but security is the biggest thing when it comes to mods. A lot of the PC mods, there were some out there that had keystroke tracking technology in the background of the mod, where they were tracking your keystrokes, which is pretty scary because if you use your computer for entering passwords and stuff like that, they're actually logging that. So when it comes to mods and stuff like that, you have to be very careful about how much access they allow into your PC or console. And because they can, obviously with mods, you can also add in hacks. So we went through, the glitches and cheats that are currently on the system last week. As if we want more. But you do get all the quality of life stuff. So
I mean, it's not just that either. There's also a lot of copyright issues that come with mods.
yeah, 100%. And even in the Steam Workshop these days, mods go up and down and up and down, and have you know, they're out there checking the mods and you know, getting rid of some of the trash, but a lot of stuff gets through that's that corrupt systems. Bobby says, as Java always says, Beehive has stolen 15-year-old mods, 100%. I think Joe says, I think Xbox history with mods is generally pretty good, so I can't see them having a problem with it. Minecraft mods are great. Yep, Ark has mods now too. True. But yeah, copyright is a big thing. Very true. So with Badlands, it's going to be a drought-stricken map with lack of springs or water. They do mention extreme weather conditions, but no noise about extreme weather conditions. No actual specifics. But, you know, speculating, sandstorm, lack of vision, maybe even some pain from it. Getting sand blasted. I think that's what could be. Maybe heat waves. I haven't heard that mentioned. All of a sudden, extreme heat, and you have to get into the shade. Or you know, similar to with the rain that stops you from freezing under the shade of a tree or a building. Keeps you a bit warmer. Maybe it's the case it'll keep you a bit cooler. You're not sitting out there cooking.
Are you going to do emotional
Can I
damage?
jump in?
Desert style.
No. ED has
I
been
reckon.
put
I
to rest.
reckon. I reckon it would be more on the area of the map. Like from the looks of it, they have more oasis type areas. I reckon those would be a bit more cooled off because it's not as dry. There's the rivers and stuff, but maybe sandstorms. I reckon just that would seem like the most viable option, especially for those more open areas. Sniper battles all of a sudden brought down to I can't see shit.
Yeah,
You know,
100%.
compared to
And I think
like those open desert areas would definitely be warmer, I reckon, compared to like an oasis or an in-town area where it's built up and you actually have some shade.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see where you're going with that. So you're, you know, between the towns,
Yeah.
that hardship of trekking between the towns. They did say the town layout
Yeah, open
is,
desert's going to be
yeah,
a lot hotter than
a lot hotter than a township where some of the heat's absorbed by the buildings, there's shade, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they did mention
Almost environmental based on the area.
Yeah, but they did mention that the layout's going to be similar to Chinaris, where Taxstan at the moment, there's a large stretch to the next town, whereas it's going to have a lot more like Chinaris, where you don't have to... there's a little distance to the next town, but it's not a massive gear up and run to. So...
Yeah, I think they'd have to do that. Because the biggest problem with Takistan is the amount of emptiness.
Yes. Yeah. So from what I know and from what I've seen, 3 cities, 25 towns and villages. So unconfirmed.
It definitely still leaves plenty of room. It still leaves plenty of room.
Plenty of room. Mountainous
desert.
areas, large
Yeah.
mountainous regions. So you're probably looking like, you know, some areas just be these goat trails of just merging up mountains to small little isolated towns where you'd be able to, chill out, or the big cities where it's rocking. The only thing I'm not looking forward to is having to wear similar clothes items so I don't get hot. Smaller clothes items so I don't get hot. Along with the colours and not having to worry about the heat just because of the clothing. It's going to suck, but otherwise can't wait. That's a good point. Be good to utilise those.
So with some of the assets,
yeah.
Yeah,
do
utilize
you
the
reckon they're
backpacks,
adding
big bags.
lighter clothing though? Like I saw that Hunter jackets and shit recently got a rework with their insulation
Yeah, they
factors.
got the
But at the
summer
same
kits.
time, do you reckon maybe even with the dust and stuff too? Like, I personally, I know during the summertime out here, I'll wear a heavier mask, to help with like the sun beating down. Or do you reckon there would be advantages to maybe because there's those small rivers dampening your clothes? What about a mechanic where you could use some of that water to dampen your clothes just so you're not overheating
Well,
as
we've already experimented that back in the early days, as ED was mentioned, emotional damage, the mechanic of actually being wet and keeping yourself cold, actually reduces how much heat affects you. So you're gonna have to take the dip into the oasis between those long treks if you're fully stacked up and fully geared in, depending on what you're dressed in. But in some of the little assets here, or the little photos that we have, they've actually incorporated, I suppose, a new items into it. Where are we? Which is these particular, I suppose, throws.
Look like caftans.
Yeah,
Oh, almost like a poncho.
similar to a
Like a
poncho.
dress.
Yeah, like a dress with a lovely split. Imagine the greedy's legs hanging out of that split.
Is that a deagle?
Rock out with the
Oh,
cock
yeah,
out.
old man legs.
That's it. little ball bag hanging out the side. Hey, we got to keep cool.
Be like a
in
Scotsman, eh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like a Scotsman. What do you got under your caftan?
Get this man a kill.
I don't know if it was just utilization of the color, but I see that the CUU is being used a lot in these images. Do you reckon maybe they'd fuck with the insulation of maybe that desert camo? I mean,
It's
That would
not.
make
we know
sense.
that
Well, it's
Insulation
only
what
a,
colors.
thing.
it's only a medium insulation to start off with, so it's going to be that'll be probably the warm wear. Like you be wearing this stuff and thinking, I can't put too much more on, otherwise I'm going to get hot.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about like the I don't know, the application of. Do you think they would go as far as to make I'm sure like you get encouraged to down there to avoid like darker colors because of how well they absorb heat. Do you reckon they would maybe try colors with the way they absorb and insulate?
Oh, that's a good
Like-
point. Yeah, does a darker color compared to a lighter color going to make you more hotter? Not that I've seen or heard.
Would that be a mechanic
It
that
could-
they looked at though?
I've never
Later
heard of
on,
anything
of
like. I've
course.
never even seen a mod like it.
Could get Bohemia an email there. Undead.
Yeah, and say, oi, I've just got the greatest
Is
idea in
a
the world,
suggestion.
because in a survival situation that would make walking in the desert at night time a whole different story. It would be cooler, no sun. Yep.
Mm,
The sweaty
that's not
Yeah,
true.
it'd
I
be
wonder.
chafe would be
freezing.
real.
I just see now I'm stuck thinking about it because deserts, their irrigation, there's no humidity down there.
Yep.
Would there like the lack of
Just
clouds?
a dry heat,
and-
isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very dry heat, which also means when the sun goes down, it is very fucking cold.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
if you've been to Arizona and places like that, like it cools off so fast compared to the day.
Once the sun disappears.
Yeah, once
No,
it's
but
gone,
my granddad's been. My granddad used to work in Egypt, so he worked in an ice factory, and he used to tell us all about the heat and stuff, and it'd be absolutely freezing at night. but like a dry heat.
Yeah, they hit negative temperatures out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only during the night, but they hit negative temperatures out there.
Yeah. So, but the reflection,
Fahrenheit for the Americans.
yeah, but the reflective, especially out here in Australia, the cricketers wear pure white in the summertime to help reduce the heat and reflect a lot of the heat. So you could take your Sakau gear straight to Badlands, and if it's reflecting heat, you just be the ultimate resistance to the radiation because you're in pure white. But I don't think it's going to work like that. I don't think that mechanic's involved.
No.
No, I
Because it
think we're
wouldn't
just
make
going to
sense
end
to wear
up.
white on Sakal then.
It'll be a whole lot of just different clothing, I think,
Yep.
which is good.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
clothes. I don't mind.
I think they'll adjust some of it too. And no, that you'd be walking around in, t-shirts and plain clothes gear, not as much as
And
the
booty
military stuff.
shorts.
That's it, booty shorts, booting it right up.
Yeah, you'd be walking around with these.
It's gonna be my summer kit.
Just rip
My
your pa-
cargo
just
shorts that are
rip-
cut way too short in my
That's
teeth.
it.
Just rip your pants off. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, good idea, Lady Potts. Just rip your duds off, show us, and then rip them back on.
Real classy.
But it definitely back to the weather conditions. It's definitely sandstorm on the cards, as we mentioned in our little preview. Sumrek, the lead designer, he built the sandstorm for Armor 2. So it's got to be a sandstorm of some type.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Imagine trying to snipe in one of them, having a sniping battle. Oh, you'd be so cheesed off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is like, what do you reckon the armaments would be? Like the ideal armaments? I know for Sakal
Well-
and Chinoris, for the fields, you want snipers and shit. Livonia, I've noticed, is much more close quarters for a good portion of it just because of how wooded it can be in certain areas.
So
Do you reckon there are people who'll be rocking deep desert kits with snipers and ARs compared to SMGs and shotguns for the Oasis?
Well, from the quote, they said they're adding old guns going for the old school style. So maybe, lever actions, not as much as the military style armament. So rather than everyone walking around with SMGs, it will based on, lever actions. Maybe the trumpet may come out.
That's what I was just going to say. Is that the bringing back of the
Well, they were
trumpet?
talking war torn. There's definitely going to be some more modern firearms, I reckon.
No, but what it is the story is it was already gripped in war, heavily hammered by war. Then the infection came through.
Yeah.
Ah.
So a lot of that. Have they made it so a lot of the military armament's already been spent, and you are going to be taking a lot of sniper shots. You are going to be taking a lot of, you'd have to still be able to get it because it looks like there's a bunker involved. There's a lot of military assets. There's a massive dam that looks like it's incorporated. We'll go through. These are the assets that they basically put out to give everyone an idea of how much is actually put into it. So these are the new assets here. They put a tax stand. So here's Sakal's assets on the left hand side up the top here, and this is what they've basically incorporated. There's a better view. Where are you, peasants? Duck back here. Yeah, that's the one. Oh. So this gives you a complete idea of that's a landscape view of some of the new assets. You've got this giant dam wall looking thing. So there may be a large lake or a large water supply, maybe up into the mountains. You've got quite a lot of these desert style DayZ arrow something from armor. Reincorporated. What I did like was the construction, the girded apartment. You've got the full built, and then you've got a girded style. So there's got to be a construction city. But yeah, there's the
Looks a bit like skyscrapers.
yeah. There's this asset here, which no idea, but this big dam one, it seems to, when I had a closer look at it, it drifts all the way back here. So that's a large underground opening. So you may see, a like a dam with a military base in it. I can't remember the Americans version. But yeah. So many new
describe it a
assets.
bit better. I might know.
Yeah, what's it called? Hoover Dam.
I love the fact that
Hoover
we're getting.
Dam.
I love the fact we're getting so many assets like that. It's going to help map creation for our original maps as well.
Yeah.
Those are things that people can make. It's going to be insane.
And also combine and piece together and incorporate, because a lot of the time these guys take these bits and they chop and change them.
Just can't wait to play with all the new assets on editor.
See, it's the flat shot, as in Mr. Very Silent Bob. Yeah, so lots of assets coming in. Where are we? So this is the thing that I only got off one set of streamers, and I'm not going to mention who, just in case they get in trouble because they mentioned. They're talking about an extended highway that goes from one side of the map to the other. A raised highway. So similar to Hishima, which had the highways above the water. This will have, well, from what they were saying, basically a highway that runs from one end to the other. So you'd be able to travel it, obviously get to the three big cities, either above or below it. But that's something that's never been done in DayZ. And I think that's going to bring a hectic ambush-style progression to the map, especially once you're kitted and ready to go and just booting around on this highway. But yeah. I only saw it in one particular stream. So that I'm going to try and confirm and try and get out, but I don't think they were supposed to say it, and they fucked up. So here at Peasent Podcast, we're not going to dob in, but we're going to release the information anyway. So yeah, an extended highway that goes from one side to the other, raised off the desert. It's going to be similar to Cherno with loot progression, so tier loot style. They're talking about new animals or new AI for animals. So Mr. Wobo was talking about animals that could be replaced. The hyena with the wolf.
More desert style goats and camels in place of cows.
Yeah, and they're talking snakes as well.
Yeah, snakes. Gonna be a pet snake.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But
If I get bit by a rattler traveling across the fucking desert, I'm gonna be pissed.
Sitting there with your partner, they're sucking poison out of your ass cheek.
That's the thing, though. Oh man, actually, that makes me curious about what they would do if implementing something like that with snakes. Like a venomous snake would be interesting. Do
Yeah,
you want to try to
we
avoid
get.
that? Avoid that? Is
Oh,
there a
they'd
way
have to bring a
to?
medication out, wouldn't they?
Yeah, that's it. Well, they
Yeah,
bring
like
us
an
out
antidote.
antivenom.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you
Well,
you
the
have
thing is
to.
with DayZ though too, I've noticed they like to try to implement hella realism. Antivenoms only work like twice
Yeah.
before your body
Wow.
is just fucked.
Yeah.
Like
It'll
you
just
get bit a
smash her.
third time and you're just gonna die. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. The second time you have any
That'll be,
venom
mate.
doesn't.
That'll be.
There you go.
All you'll see on PVE kill feeds is Lady Punts died due to snake bites because I want to play with them all.
Look, you're gonna be sitting there walking with your buddy. He's just gonna collapse right in the sand. You're like, fuck.
I want to play with the note rope.
What happened to Rick?
I want to play with the note rope.
Aw, he's so cute.
Danger noodles.
Yeah. So don't touch the snakes. But yeah. So, once again, all this information is not confirmed by 100% by DayZ. I've tried to get a little confirmation, but they're a little busy at the moment. They're a little flat out putting a map together. So, and even the community person, Marks, he's busy with personal stuff going on, so he's currently away off the situation. Poor bastard's getting some personal stuff, keeps getting bombarded with DMs from me. So the new map's going to be focused on PvP and exploration. The distance between maps and the new towns is similar to Cherno, yet we said that. Awareness on villages and towns having POIs. Player numbers on server, they're looking at 60s, but not confirmed. New vehicles. The possibility is high of new modes of travel. So, basically, Mr. Running Man not being shy or anything, just blurted out, is there going to be new vehicles? They said there may be new forms of travel. So whether that's helicopters, whether that's, new cars, dune buggies,
Bring a
something
bus.
like that. That's it. Bring the bus. Bring the
Let us
helicopter.
ride the camels.
That's it. Let us ride the camels. One hump or two.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
But yeah, so that's going to be cool. They say Sakau and Nasdara are the opposites of the extreme scale. So one being extremely cold, one's being extremely hot. But yes, that's all the little rundown I have. If we want to go back through some of these screenshots that I've got. Where are we? So I played a lot of this at the start, but this is some of the stuff that I've been given. I don't know how legit it is. I don't know how 100% confirmed that this is what we're looking at when it comes to the map.
Wow.
But the walkthrough one's probably the best of them. I mean, she's gorgeous. She is absolutely everything. As Lady Pons mentioned, it looks like the desert map on PUBG to a T. Very, very well done.
It really does. It's
this,
amazing.
This is probably the best. You're looking dual layers. You're looking multiple towns, multiple areas from desert biomes to the bigger city, especially here. This war-torn rubble city with a hangover, torn cloths. That's just going to be crazy. And of course, Billy Bob sweating it out. I'm sure that's cued by the aviators, just saying.
Dude, you got first peaks and didn't tell us?
That's it. He knows the devs as well. Right?
Damn,
I did
cool.
like this.
Holding out. No.
So it's a bit blurry here, but having a closer look, there's actually a set of stairs inside that doorway that lead up to this. So this is like a little tower that's going to be like a sniping point.
It's almost like a desert version of the Green Mountain Tower.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And there it is again. It seems to be incorporated in a lot of the towns. Like that sort of feel when it comes to Green Mountains Tower, which is pretty cool. Obviously, we got here a bit more of the assets, the square outs. Obviously, the rubble
Oh man,
towns.
John sweating.
This looks like a that's it, like a church style on top of a hill, which would be like the small villages.
Wow.
But the landscape is just gorgeous.
That's cool.
Just absolutely gorgeous.
You think
Yeah, go.
that's amazing?
Yeah. And I
I
really
was
like
just thinking,
this.
do you reckon you'd be able to salvage that? I want to live in a desert castle.
That's it. Maybe
Maybe
you
the
may
lady
be
of
able
the
to
desert castle now.
construct it one day. You know, that sort of.
Yeah. You know, like you can with the broken down castle walls on like Chinaris.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, I wonder if they'll have like
The desert biome style.
yeah.
It looks like
Walls.
a ramp on top of that tank.
It does, doesn't it? I think it's a pipe. Oh, look at that smokestack.
Yeah, it's the muzzle. I wish it was a ramp. But there's, you know, this is what maybe the cities will look like. You've got like that Roman
Wow.
feel to it down here in the bottom. Yeah. Of course,
Oh, I love the walls round that.
you're down here.
Round that building. No, round that building. That Romanesque building. I like the walls around it. There's some pretty walls.
Yeah.
Got a thing with
these
walls
down
tonight, haven't I?
No, but that's it. This down here
Yeah.
with this tile top, you know, once again is a good incorporation.
It's good architecture.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing I like about it is you look at all the green in the background. It's not like Pakistan that is just grey and drab everywhere. There's like decent hints of colour in it.
Yeah, a bit of life.
Yeah,
And,
but
you know,
look at that grass. Looks dry as fuck.
Yeah.
Hasn't seen a good rain in a while. Needs a drink.
There's a little thing. You know, pots on the ground, clay pots. But I do like this
Wooden stick
canopy,
fence.
the canopy style, torn, shredded. This was interesting actually. Now it doesn't give you a good shot, but that's a drying rack. So that is 4 posts, a couple of hooks, and a cow, and another carcass on a drying rack.
Oh.
Nice.
It's a weird.
That's
deep
going to be a
deep
good
sized
thing
animal.
for RP.
Like it looks almost like a boar, but
Yeah,
not quite.
yeah, boar. But can we use it? Can I get a carcass and slap it on there for the 2 days?
That
Let
would
it
actually
bake in the
be-
sun.
Well, it makes sense because if we're in hot areas as a hot map, what's it going to do if you light a fire to cook your food in a fire? You just got to sizzle and overheat.
Yep.
So why wouldn't you bring in a new mechanic to dry your meat instead of cooking your meat?
I 100% agree, and I think that would be a champion fucking thing to put into. Just gotta go find my chat. Where are you, chat? There we are. Could you imagine being able to fix and use helicopters, tanks, and other military vehicles? It would be nuts to fly a helicopter, and especially being such a large map, I do think it may be required.
I'd like to drive around that in a tank. Blow everyone up.
Blow everyone
Piss
up.
people off. That'd be cool.
Just unload.
Hey, you think base raiding was easy now? You wait till you get a couple of mortar rounds and pump through your walls.
That's it.
Everyone will be begging.
Knock, knock,
owners of
motherfucker.
That's it,
the
just come
D7
driving
for,
through.
a custom base.
You
Please,
just,
can I pay you for a custom base?
that's it. You just spent the last 4
Checking
hours
these
with your
tanks.
buddies. You finally got your well up and built, and someone puts a rocket into it.
Yes. That would be me, that driving past in me tank.
The one thing I found interesting about all of those screenshots and all the info releases is not one mention or shot of an airport
Nope.
or a runway strip or anything.
Nope. Couldn't find one in the assets either. Couldn't find any.
Which
Yeah. Did see a bunker entrance, which was
is
pretty
that
cool.
because they're
Ooh.
leaving it off? Maybe we are getting heli and they're leaving it off just because they don't want people to speculate on it.
I would
They're
say
like, "Oh, so we
so.
won't tease anything about it."
Oh yeah, that'd be a really good, really good.
That's
That'd
what they
be
like to
really
do.
good,
That's what they like to do. They like to drop that sort of style into their releases of the game. So, Bob from the Bell. Welcome, Bob from the Bell. But yeah, so that's my entire rundown of Badlands, everything that I've been able to get my hands on. You can get onto the Discord if you want to check out any of the photos. They're all in there. Plus some of the screenshots that I got from Mr. Running Man's stream. He was just showing it off and I was just hitting the screenshot button repeatedly. But a couple of things that were also added. A texture update or for the new update. So this looks like it's going to come out update 1.30. But 1.29 is going to bring a update for the graphical effects of Sakau. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find an example for thee. Yeah. They're going to, yep, that's going to do what I want it to do. Should really put all these things on buttons, but I swear I'll go live nude.
You should, because you've got my anxiety's toes curling now.
Actually, that's probably not the best way to put it. This one.
Oh, loving that patio. Nice.
So currently, this is what the graphics look like on Sakau. You can see the snow trail that kicks through there. We see it quite often up in the volcano and stuff, where you see these very squarish, and this is not just on Sakau, but this is on all the maps. You see these very harsh square texture patterns. Next update, this is what they'll look like. Massive difference.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, absolutely massive difference between that and that. So you'll no longer have that big strip of whites. You're going to see a lot of changes in the graphic sense. So that's going to be pretty cool. Oh yeah, there's another shot of some of the housing of Badlands. I've got fucking screenshots and files all over the place. So if you want to save it, a little door here.
The little wooden door on that building, that's cute.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at the balcony on the left.
This one here.
Yeah.
Although it looks like someone's
That's
standing
cool.
there. But yeah, the balcony.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Creeping Jesus in the background there. That's so nice.
Yeah, so that's going to be absolutely hectic. Skip across. I've lost
Bohemia, take my money.
That's it, pretty much. I'm a professional DayZ driver, and I don't even fly helicopters. Badlands will be fun, 100%. Especially that sort of stuff when it kicks on. What a better time to try and get gear up some more unofficial than when watching the DayZ stream. True. Yeah, go Q.
So with the way that the roadmap was set out, all right. So we have two classified things. Now we know the 1.30 classifier is going to be the release of Badlands. The next update is supposed to be the next classified thing. What the fuck have they got in store for us?
I got
Are they going to do similar to what they did with boats before Sakal release? And they're going to release us a new vehicle to test and play with before the Badlands drops.
Oh shit! Yeah, true. Will they pre-release helicopters to test it before they get Badlands out and about? Oh, you know,
I almost wonder.
if that's the case, we're having a podcast from inside a helicopter while we fly around the map.
That'd be so cool.
Oh man, I almost wonder if their focus on updates is going to be because they promised like what was it, like a year and a half back, that they were going to keep doing smaller updates but announce the bigger shit that's coming out. For it to be classified, do you reckon they're actually trying to throw something massive at us?
Yeah, I
don't
think they've
quite
changed
remember.
the
I might just
stance
be speaking out
of.
my ass.
No. I think they've changed their stance on the little updates, and I think because they were having so much problems with the small team bringing out updates and always having a mistake. Now with the larger teams, the last two updates have been relatively mistake-free. Now I say relatively because we still got Invisigas and stuff like that, but yeah.
Supermania.
Well, just nothing on the scale of like big server issues like they've been having. It has been really, really smooth sailing from them.
Yeah, the only thing I've seen is maybe a little bit of lag issues on Hypop Hypop servers on official, but apart from that, Ramekin. So today, boom, 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 Badland, boom, 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 boom. It better be quiet. It's the Peasent, boom, 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 podcast, boom, 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 boom. Yeah. That's how you end it. Just crash the
Right back
bastard.
after this ad.
That's it. Sporting in a new heli. Sporting in new players.
Reset the server quick.
A little bit more little news to go over the top. DayZ 2 was also thrown out there. The question was put out, like Armor Reforger has brought out the testing for Armor 4, is the what's happening in DayZ, the lead into DayZ 2, and it was not heavily denied, but it was denied. So I think they've taken DayZ 2 to basically capture the name of it to be able to keep it as a keepsake. But I think DayZ 2 will be the evolution of the engine to the Armor Reforger. It won't be actually DayZ 2, it will just be the update to it. And then they can release it on platforms like console under an X version and have DayZ as the old school version under just, normal DayZ.
I think they're just going to play out this map building, and we're going to get another 3 or 4 different maps before they actually fully take DayZ as far as they can, and then they'll be like, okay, that's it. We've milked it as much as we can. Let's start saying new.
Yep, I think so too. Let's start the history again, and let's take Armor 4's mechanics and now make it into our own DayZ 2 style DLC, or therefore a standalone too. So,
Do you actually reckon they would try something like that? Would it be a complete revamp, or do you reckon, because they've shown a lot of dedication? We're talking a game that's been around since what, 2012 now?
2013. 2013 is the official date.
Yeah.
So we're talking 12 years.
They've shown a lot of dedication to this.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine them just giving up after reaching whatever they would see as their point. Like I know they talked about I know that they've talked about the fact that they don't want to rework a lot of the coding. So maybe a DayZ 2 would be just overall trying a new engine, really, compared to
like they do with other
because they didn't
games.
want to.
You know, you look at Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2 compared to COD now. Like it's had new upgrades, new engines and stuff. But what is it? It's probably COD 15 in the series.
Yeah, but I would be severely disappointed by something like that on a survival game aspect. Like I don't want to copy and paste to something like this. I would like to see new mechanics explored or maybe new UI. I know that a lot of this has been them not wanting to change a lot of the previous coding.
Yeah, because
Like,
it's
or even
yeah,
graphical designs.
It's
like,
5 or 6 people's sets of code merged together.
Yeah. Like a lot of this stuff feels just very
I mean, you got to remember too, there's certain limitations on the engine. You know, the engine can only do so much.
Yeah.
It is an old engine.
Yeah.
Yeah, which means they would have to completely revamp. And what I'm trying to say is like for them to would 2 just be them completely trying a new engine and revamping, right? Because the way I see it is DayZ would stay the same as it's been for the past 12 years.
Well, no, it'll be similar to what they've done when they brought in 0.62 when they changed engines. I mean, a lot of the reason why they don't just want to flip it like that is because it just breaks everything.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think they will keep the same feel of the game, but just updated engines. So you'd get smoother animations. You'd have better graphics.
Yep. Your
And
water
then they'd
would
have
be
the chance
different.
to be able to add in new things.
Yep. And even have,
Yeah.
skyboxes being customizable and stuff like that.
Fair enough. Yeah, because I know I'd be pretty fucking disappointed if DayZ 2 is just slightly prettier graphics, but it's the same fucking game. You know?
I wouldn't mind as long as they
Yeah.
don't charge me. If they said, listen, we're taking DayZ off the market, this is the new one, everyone get on board. If you already bought DayZ, that's fine. It'll update, it'll give you the new game, no problems at all. You know, allow people who have interest in it but haven't liked the graphics or the 12-year-old game and gone, oh, it's brand new, and to be able to jump into it. I'll be happy with that. No problem. Support the people that have been supporting you.
Yeah, no. Sorry, but it's going to be just like 7 Days to Die. They'll release a new game, the exact same game, but they'll be like, oh, yeah, now you got to buy it again. Sorry.
Yeah. And you wonder why I don't have 7 Days to Die. I played that thing religiously. They owe me. They owe me, but do they want to hand over? No. Very Silent Bob says, we will have to pay for DayZ 2 with Reforger engine for the current gen only, and DayZ will be on old consoles. Yeah. Old 2 engines for current DayZ. The Skybox is customizable in Reforger. We actually set a date for in about, I think it's about 4 or 5 weeks. We're going to have Mr. Very Silent Bob on the podcast to talk about DayZ Reforger. He has been in the depth of it. He's got so much to say. I was watching him the other day on it, and it's pretty fucking good. It's tempted me across, Bobby. You tempted me across with your propaganda on Twitch. But yeah, that's my spill for Badlands. That's all the information that I've rocked in. As I said, you can always go and check out all the photos and stuff like that. We're going to be posting it all in a separate channel in the Discord, so it's not in people's faces. There are some people who don't want to venture into it. There's a lot of people who want to just hold on and wait and explore it. So we like to. We'll see when we do Badlands that we will actually heavily announce it before we do the podcast on it, so people know. Come in, the water is drinkable. I heard it's like wine.
Bit
But yeah.
vinegary.
Anything from the co-hosts? We're going to roll some business. If you've got any business, I know Mr. Q wants to pick up a new little rundown with his biz. So, Mr. Q, you take it away.
All right. Well, I'm going to start every month highlighting every week, server of the week.
Beautiful.
And so this week I've been, as I usually do quite lately, diving deep into different deathmatch style servers, and I come across one that's actually quite unique and extremely fun. It's Ruins Deathmatch, RUINZ Deathmatch. It's a bunch of buildings placed around, all broken down. Has pretty much every new gun, all the new scopes. It's a 16 slot. Usually runs pretty full. I think I've only been 3 or 4 times where it's not peaked over 10, 12 players. The only downside to it is based in Germany. There's a little bit of lag from my side of the world.
Oof. That's a 400 ping
But
for sure. For the peasant.
It's actually still pretty playable. Yes, same with me. But it's actually still really, really playable.
Nice.
So every Thursday and Friday, they switch to first person only. And the rest of the week, they keep it third person.
Well, that's cool. That's a cool little concept.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Thought it was different. But it's definitely one to get into. I've found there's a lot of interactions on there, so you get a lot of people just chat and shit and game chat rather than just running through a deathmatch and everyone's silent.
Yep.
But I'll pop the link into the Discord, the chat, and
dump
give
it
it a try.
You got the power. You got the fight. So Ruin Z deathmatch. No, that's good. The death matches are slowly but surely a bit harder to find these days. So,
they are.
Yeah.
Well, especially ones that have been upgraded with the new guns and the new scopes. I don't know how many death matches that I've been through in the past month, and so many of them just haven't updated. Frustrating.
That's it. Especially when you just want to get out there, have a little hit out, have a little bit of a beef, grab some guns, shoot some people, relieve some stress, and move on.
Yep, that's definitely a good one to check up on.
That's it. That's Ruins the Deathmatch. There's Discord there. Give it a check out. We were at dinner last night. Mr. Q put up the yell in the Discord. Anyone want to jump on? I saw it. I'm like, fuck, I'm at dinner. All right, get home. I'm finished. I gotta go. We had the old man
I
down.
think I was on there for about 2.5 hours last night, just constantly shooting out.
One of those ones where you can just rinse and repeat. They're good fighters, they are. I like those servers where you can spend a good 2 hours on a deathmatch just murdering people and it doesn't get boring.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
I have a hard time with those servers. I do enjoy the more mechanistic moments of DayZ. Being able to just walk for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. All right. Well, we appreciate you. Hopefully we'll get... every week we'll get a rundown on the latest server. So if you're looking for new servers, definitely hang out for the podcast for that. That's absolutely wicked. Lady Ponce, Mr. Undead, do you have any biz you would like to take care of?
Not yet.
Not yet?
No, not yet. I'm still figuring out scheduling.
No,
but
that's
I'm kind
fine.
of getting the hang of it. So
No, that's good. As I said, it took the other guys before we started incorporating user stuff, good couple of months to get settled and work the way in and yeah. So you're definitely not. It's not a mandatory thing. It's just something you'd like to highlight of the community, something you see. I will give Mr. Undead a bit of a raps. He's currently rolling on 3 maps, 1 life, my challenge. I was reading X, and there was a streamer who is a PC streamer, and all I saw the top line was, "I've completed the 3 maps, 1 live challenge," and I'm like, "Holy shit! It made it to PC? What?" No, it was their version. Their version was get one
I
kill
know,
on Chinaris and exit, kill a bear on Livonia and exit, and get into the bunker. Sorry, kill a bear and get into the bunker on Livonia, and then get a lock crate and exit on Sakau. So I slipped my challenge across, and we've talked about it for a while, bouncing backwards and forwards about the different things and what has to incorporate. And funny enough, having a look in the official files, you can't actually complete my challenge. My challenge has, you need to find all 4 lock crates. So there's an orange, a red, a yellow, and a blue container on Sakau. Well, there used to be. Since the update, they've removed 2 of the containers, and there's only the yellow and the blue. Hence why when we were last on Mr. Undead running around, we only found a yellow and a blue key and a yellow and a blue container.
Fucking A.
There is no red
So
or
is it just
orange
those 2
containers. So I had to change that, but it also is the red and the orange now merged across to Badlands. Is it going to be on Nasdara?
Ah. I'll hold honor then. I'll open just 2 of each. I need 2 yellows, 2 blues.
No. It's just 1 of each. So I changed the challenge, but it was more the fact of after talking backwards and forwards with the guy on X that we sort of dove into the colours, and yeah. So officially, only yellow and blue containers and keys will spawn. The red and the orange don't exist on official. They have been non-active.
Crazy.
Yeah, so they'll be on Badlands.
That's weird that I wonder if they've taken them out just because it was too much. Because that seems weird that they just take them out already.
That's what I thought.
Like, it's a bit premature considering Badlands still a way away.
I honestly think that too many keys, too many cases, lots of traveling, and people like, well, a lot of people like instant gratification and satisfaction. So, and there's plenty of times that we've gone down to the shipwreck, seen 2 or 3 containers, grabbed the keys, and come back and open those same containers. So they may have reduced it because there was so much flow, but even if you look on I Survive, it's only yellow and blue. So weird. Very strange. Something that was never ever mentioned. Never mentioned. Never seen it, never run with it. So, but yeah, this man, Mr. Undead, back to what I was saying, he is currently at the furthest point of completing the challenge. So definitely go out there, give him some love, check out the challenge. He's hot for it. He wants to beat it before the Greedster does.
I gotta beat it before the first now. I got a time limit. I got 3 days.
When's I did hear something, but I haven't.
The wipe's on the 1st. There's a wipe.
There's
it's
a
in
wipe?
the fucking server messages when you join official. Yeah. Character wipe on the 1st of July. Yeah.
Oh.
Wow. That's why I couldn't find it. Okay. I'm going to have to double check on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, character wipe on the 1st.
It's in the servers, man. You'll see it.
Fuck, I'm going to have to go. I'm going to have to crack it tomorrow. Shit.
I mean,
I'm going to do the entirety
how
of a
close are you to
Sakau.
Sakal? We'll just duo run it.
Well, I've got to get a heli, so I've got to get a heli to get out of Livonia and then all of Sakau. Fuck me. It's going to be a long
I'm
stream
still
on Monday.
coastal on Sakal. I got a glow plug. I got two sparkers. No, I have 1 sparker. I gave 1 to Queen, but
I will see how
yeah,
it goes.
I'll fucking just run it with you.
Oh, well, if
you
we
find
line
your
up the
heli, man.
time to get into it. But yeah, he is currently in the lead of any streamer that I know that's running it. So get out there and give him some love when he's out there running 3 maps, 1 life. And Lady Ponce, any progression on your server? When does your server come around? I know you're slowly but surely tapping out of it. When Greedy gives you a hand with the bloody teleports.
Well, yes, but I need help with that. So I've just got to build some of the sky islands.
Nice.
There's going to be some sky islands. I think there's going to be 3 in total. And then the whole map's PvP with some rules. And it's going to be basically like faction based, or groups, or even solos. Whoever wants to come play it, it's all very welcome.
Yeah. So it's going to be an
I
RP
need-
style, multi-level mapped, settlements in the sky, that sort of
So
scenario.
no,
No,
it's not going to be RP.
no, took the RP out. Straight.
Yeah, so it's going to be a PvP map. So like basically the whole floor is going to be full PvP map, and then up in the sky is going to be like PvE/RP maybe.
Yep. So come
So,
and be a character
you know,
if you
give it-
want, but no heavily rules on RP, but mainly a place that players can get together and do what they need to do and
Yeah, chill
incorporate
out.
it together. And...
Even if like the groups and factions and stuff want to travel up and just chill out and meet people, they can do. If they want to just kill each other again, they can do. It's fine. So it's going to be like 24/7 raid down on the floor. The only twist is they've got to open a ticket and have a reason why they want to raid. So yeah, I've pulled a few rules from RP
raid with
into
purpose.
PvP.
Raid with purpose.
Yeah, if you're gonna start beef with another faction on a server, then you gotta come and get the okay.
That's it.
So I'm a nosy cow. I want to know everything. So.
She'll smack your bottom if you're misbehaving. She wants to make sure you're behaving.
You're joking, aren't you? I'm going to be there sitting watching these people raiding a bush with popcorn. Nice bag of rice.
That's it. On the stalker watching the raid happen.
Exactly. Just the quiet, silent type sitting in the bush, stalking everyone.
Cracks me up.
Right,
I
I
want
to, when you're raiding, before the raid begins, I want to build myself a clear platform in the sky that I can teleport to and just float above looking at you.
Correct.
Exactly.
That's it.
But what I'm going to do as well is, so I've already built some like really big points of interest, and if groups or factions join the server and they're like heavy into PvP, they're going to have like base alarms, and everybody's going to be able to be pinged on it. And it'll be like released to the whole server to see. So if groups take over the POIs, which is fine, it comes with a full kit, some building materials, and they can base there. But they're going to have to get ready for the fight of their lives.
Yeah, because everybody's going to know they're there.
Defending it.
Reverse base alarms, a base indicator that somebody's home and you can come and tap on their door.
Exactly.
Yeah, sick.
It's like a not so friendly warning.
That's it. And what's the name of the server?
Echoes of Atlanta.
That's it. Echoes of Atlanta. I'm just trying to find it. I'm like, where is the name? I've got too many servers in my fucking list.
So I've took it off for now, just while I'm like uploading stuff
Yep.
and sorting some XMLs out and whatnot. But it'll be back up soon. It's had a lot of traction so far. I've got a few things like picked up in Vibor Industrial, and I've already had a couple of people jumping in trying to steal everything, so I've had to like have a
Close
fight.
it down. Close it down. Find with
Yeah,
the new patrons to try and grab those early goodies.
yeah.
Storage
Honestly.
wipe.
Well,
Day one, storage wipe.
yeah. Before I like actually, because I've opened it, just you know, people have been coming and playing on it. I've had quite a lot of people come in and check it out. Um, and what's it called? Somebody sent me a message and they were like, "Can we take over Vibor Industrial?" And I was like, "No, the server's not released just yet." And they were like, "But we found a way in." And I'm like, "Oh, my building skills trash."
Well, that's a good
So
thing.
they've already jumped in and got some guns, but it's going to be wiped. It's going to be wiped before.
Do a storage wipe
so
before release.
yeah, I'm gonna have to and take those goodies out.
That's good testers, Bug. Good testers. So yeah, Echo of Atlantis will be coming
Yeah.
in the next couple of months. Definitely one to work on. But apart from
Oh,
that,
definitely.
that's all the business we have. The Badlands rundown. At the end of every show, we like to pit two of our co-hosts together. I'm thinking Mr. Q and Mr. Undead. Yeah,
The
I think
boys.
the boys will have to have a run. So
Yeah, I've been bullied too many times.
I think so. So as we'd like to do, if you'd like to throw some money on some greedy gold onto who will win, we're going to start our predictions. And boys, if you want to get yourselves sorted for the one-on-one, we can see who will take dominance and who gets bragging rights. And the other shall be booed until my voice hurts.
Boo.
So what's the prediction,
yay.
Q? Am I 2 for 0 this time?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me write a bit down.
Money's on Q so far. Money's on Q.
Ah, I like the long shots. Can't blame them.
Plenty of cash on Q. Nothing on Undead. Oh, lots of money on Q.
Oh, that's a shame.
Nothing on
That's a
Undead.
shame.
You know the rules,
That's a
gentlemen.
shame.
Grab as many guns as possible, as much firearms as you need. Then make your way up to the launching cage. When you're ready, hold up there and we will send you either back to the spawn or to the victory in which you will attain.
Don't let me down, Undead. I voted on you.
That's it. So money's
Oh,
out.
thank you, Ponce.
That's it. Money's out.
What gun should I use to kill him then, Ponce? I got a shotty,
So
SMG, and a repeater.
91% favoritism to
Pistol.
to Mr. Q.
Pistol?
91 to 9%.
Alright.
Pistol.
I can do a pistol kill.
All right, gentlemen, ready?
One moment. Just got to get a quick reload in.
That's fine. Mr.
We're
Q
raring to go.
is on the left-hand side. Mr. Undead on the right. We're all set to go.
Alrighty.
Yep. All right. So after 3, you open your cages and be the last man standing. 3, 2, 1, go. Strategy's kicking off this time.
Oh, shit.
They've both moved. Oh, little blood splatter.
Get him, undead! Get him!
Oh,
Fucking
you're still there. You're still there. You're still
Oh.
on. No!
Not
Yep.
sure that counts.
Undead, you won! Yes!
Technically you won. Technically you won. Undead, the winner. By default. Default. Probably not the victory he wanted. He likes to really get the death. Mr.
Yeah.
Q. Haha, you didn't kill me though.
Yeah, but you gotta rub it in a bit more. It kind of hurts when they just
That's it.
kind of drop like that.
21k to Lady Ponce. Very impressive.
Oh, yeah.
But that's our podcast done and
numbers.
dusted. This is the Peasant out of here. I'd like to thank my co-hosts, and we'll see you next time. Love your work, peeps.